This week on RSBANDB Update, as budding Astromancers, we head on to Zolarea to help out the Star Sprites and learn about their home. We break out the tinfoil hats and ask, is something more sinister lurking on Zolarea? Also, what purpose do cute quests serve? This is RSBANDB Update, episode 1058, recorded Thursday, October 9th, 2025. On the path to Astromancy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of RSBANDB Update. Quest Week is here. A bit surprised by this one, aren't we, Avernick?
We had the calendar's notice and nothing else.
Yeah, the calendar's notice and nothing else to let us know that the Star Sprite quest is here. A bit of a different quest panel this week. Of course, Avernick, you're here, member of the Scrying Pool, been doing quests and whatnot with us for probably since about 3 years now, that I think about it.
Yeah. I think the first one was Dead and Buried.
Okay, right. Okay, so maybe a little bit less than that, but always,
a little less.
Always good having you on the panel. Also, with us is Thaxi. No math this week, right?
No one laughed at my lettuce joke.
I didn't hear your lettuce joke.
It was a joke?
He said, let us begin.
Oh, that's what you were laughing about that made me restart. Okay.
It'll end up in the clip show at the end of the year. It's fine.
Of course, Thaxi is primarily somebody that many folks know from our math and combat episodes, but you're also a quester, clan quester, so I figured why not this week?
I analyze game balance and where things are going to fit in and how powerful they seem to be. That is where I have ended up on the show.
You were the ones that told people that they were sleeping on Lord of Bones and Dracula.
A handful of things. Yeah, we've done a handful of things over the years. So haven't been wrong yet. So hair flip. Well, but no, yeah. It's good to be back. I was a quester first. That was my first, I got quest, master quest cape before I got max, and that's, clan quest is for, clan quest for almost 15 years at this point, coming up on, I think. So it's I don't get to come for a ton of these. I think, golly, I'm not sure when my last one was. I think my second ever show was one of the updates for the anniversary quest that, the Once Upon a Time in Gielinor. One of the Once Upon a Time in Gielinor branches. I think the one something. We're talking about the Relomia's morality.
Yep.
But it's been a minute.
Nonetheless, good to have you. We're going to talk about Star Sprites this week and Stellar Born. We're also going to talk about what happens after the MTX experiment, and then, of course, some League's patch notes as well. But, of course, we would not be doing this show without our experienced tier Patreon members, so a big, huge thank you goes out to Amos Reed, Bladecom, Dominic R., Jade Gizmo, Jason S., Jesse W., Kesky, Lemon Lange, Luminos, Ricky A., Runestar, Oasis, Snail Mage, The Naked Captain, and Tim. Big, huge thank you to all those people. You'll hear more about our Patreon offerings a little bit later in the show. But, of course, in the meantime, if you want to follow along, full show notes can be found over at update.show. We also have a community Discord that you can find at update.show/Discord, and the friends chat can be found in-game at BitsBytes. All right, so let's just throw ourselves in here. The first Star Sprite quest in a brand new area, Zolarea, requiring 70 mining, 70 divination, the observatory quest, as well as the Wing Out mystery. This was Mod Luma's Game Jam project, and, I think a lot of people have been asking for, just one-off quests, and, this delivers that to a T, I think.
Yeah, this was absolutely standalone. I think for a little bit there, since RuneFest, the quest slot was a bit of an open slot until we had that one update with Mod Ryan when they did the JMod shakeup where they said this was the Star Sprite quest. So I think they landed on that more standalone direction, maybe after feedback or after.
Yeah, and to kind of give a break between the desert and
between desert and Haven Hive. Yeah,
comes next with Haven Hive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. which makes sense.
Surprisingly, this thing is worth 2 quest points when you get there and when you accept the quest dialogue box. Up in Piscatoris, next to the fishing colony there, which is just off in the boonies, we'll say, to start off with here.
They needed quest areas.
It could have been anywhere, right? Like the way the quest starts is cool, but it literally could have been anywhere.
Yeah,
where they had space.
I didn't capture this on the recording that I did of the quest, but as you're walking up to it, you literally see that meteorite crash there. So that was a nice little touch for it. But overall, when we dive into this quest, the whole purpose of it is in general to help out this Star Sprite by getting them back home. And then upon realizing that there's always going to be a little bit more to it when you get there, there's a problem with the Star Sprite homeworld there.
They were having performance issues.
Yeah. with their central core.
Needed some additional meditation. Really open up all the chakras.
and make it so that they don't look like various other things that the community has pointed out. But we'll get to that. Do you guys have any comments about the process of getting this Star Sprite back? Poor Star Sprite Zoob.
I mean, I'd honestly just point out on the requirement side of things, I really want them to stop putting like relatively high level archaeology requirements on stuff that doesn't give archaeology experience. This is like the second or third time they've done it in like this year, between like requirements for desert quests, requirements for like Tomes of the Warlock still pisses me off. That they like, why is random 86 archaeology? And again, love archaeology, not mad about having to train it, but there's not a lot of quests that require a low archaeology level, and like this quest,
it could have
does require you to have 70 plus archaeology, likely 71 or 72 by the time you get the actual wingsuit done, like, or if not higher, and like no reward, no archaeology. It just randomly has a high archaeology requirement that they chucked in there and really didn't need to. They could have just handed you like a wingsuit while you were there that was like, I don't know, something different.
Yeah, like a pre-prototype kind of one that maybe you just excavate once you get to Zolarea and whatnot.
Yeah, like it bothers me that ticked me off because that doesn't feel like it needs to be there. It's just like, okay, wingsuit because haha space. We're not going to try to math out how wingsuit haha space works, but like it's cool. Rule of cool gets to win on this one. I'm in, but like do me a solid somehow with the archaeology, right? Like just yeah. Add a if that's what you want to do, add like the way that they did underwater, I think is great. Like they've got 3 or 4 different underwater breathing apparatus at this point. This time we're just kind of just settled on magical bubble, which is cool. But like you can also go under there with the water breather or something. Have me go and like make something to let me float in space. I don't know.
I mean, like let's think of what a spacesuit requires, right? Obviously, you need a way to
fucking diving helmet. Let's just
it's just a diving suit.
And they just do the diving animation while you're, you know what? I'm
instead.
Right. And
that's my big complaint about
I'm not saying we need like a spacesuit that handles, like your air supply and your radiation protection and your way to, navigate through an environment that doesn't have, air to fly through that the wingsuit normally does. So we do have to defer to the rule of cool on that and just go with the wingsuit.
We got magic, we can vibe, but like if you're adding a 70 mining and 70 divination requirement to it, and then you're also just going to sneak in a cheeky 70 archaeology requirement, like, come on, put that on there somewhere. Give us some reward for it, because that's yeah. And again, I know the whole thing about like archaeology is balanced around not having a bunch of XP rewards, and we want to have more requirements that quests that are used. It's fine, but like,
it's an interesting argument because I think I've been more in favor of treating archaeology mysteries closer to quests, especially when it comes to like requirements. But like the argument you're making is that the Wings Out quote unquote quest mystery is an archaeology requirement, where like
It is.
and that therefore this quest should have like an archaeology reward. But like Lord of Vampirion requires Branch to Darkmire, but Lord of Vampirion has a woodcutting reward. So I'm trying to think like
Well, but
between
like,
the two.
what does Wing Out give you? Like the 30, 20, like it's not a lot of archaeology experience, is it?
No, it's whatever the mystery
Oh, it's
experience. Yeah,
12K. It's 12K is not nothing. But
that's
like,
76 archaeology. Yeah.
oh, it's 76. Yeah, it's not even 70. Like, archaeology is the slowest skill to train in the game. I that's
But
like
no,
the undercurrent to
and
this to
I
me.
think maybe it's archaeology because like people say the same thing about Tomes of the Warlock. Like, why does these
Yeah.
7 quests require Tomes of the Warlock? So I think maybe it's an archaeology thing where people feel that that requirement just permeates through
Well, and like
the future down.
at some point it's a problem because they put so much cool lore and background into archaeology, right? Like where the
Mhm.
archaeology as a skill includes so much story that they want to integrate elsewhere and tools that like the wingsuit that like and I get that. But even like the Vault of Shadows mystery that they basically just had to like whoops, this required like 107 archaeology and now it's going to require 40 because lol.
Because they
Like
later wanted to use it. Yeah.
they needed to do that same thing with the wingsuit if they want to use the wingsuit elsewhere. Because the wingsuit's dope, don't get me wrong. Like that's a cool way to do this. Rule of cool says power to you. But like it bothers me that random high archaeology requirement. And again, does this quest reward anything as like important as Tomes of the Warlock? No. Is it gonna be likely gonna be required for other things? No. Is it
No.
worth doing on its own? That those experience
Eh.
numbers at that level, I would say no. Like if it was level 50,
Well, it's
I'd
an
consider
extra.
it.
It's an extra farming flower patch, which I know how you feel about
That's
farming, and that's
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 fair.
my
Farming.
main draw.
Well, it is like, and you get an instant teleport back to it, right? So that's the other thing is that it's not a hard farming patch to get to, and it gives the extra yield. So like for Iron Men and people who are like, if you had a really limited number of Star Bloom seeds, super reasonable.
Hmm.
I don't know.
No, it's an interesting thought process. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's like the most like you gotta do it quest.
No,
Yeah.
but
And
at the same
hilariously, this is the
time,
first quest to require observatory quest ever. So the odds that this gets
Really?
Which, strong work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
the first
Yeah,
quest to
it
require
makes sense that this is the one.
observatory.
Yes.
Wow.
I think it is better to me than Duck Quest because it does actually give rewards. Duck Quest,
Mhm.
like League's points notwithstanding, for an average per account, Duck's Quest is not worth doing.
No,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. It's so cute. Love it, but it's relatively time consuming and the puzzles are fun and interesting and good and it makes sense as a little like new drainer quest, but it's not it feels like quest bloat for no reason as pretty as it
I
is.
did that quest. Keep in mind, I've done that quest 2 times in the last 3 weeks.
I have not done it for leagues. I've purposely just not been wanting to
Nope.
bother to do that 60 to 90 minute like waddle
Nope.
around thing. Yeah.
If I have to, it's 60 to 90. It's like 15 minutes. That's a whole quest.
It feels like 60 to 90 minutes of slow walking.
Yeah. It's I
Anyways,
Anyway, we detoured very far off
and
of-
you know,
No,
I
but
think
still,
I think it's
though.
a fair discussion to have about archaeology and the wingsuit because after you do that, you're effectively doing the same sort of flying animation that you do at Stormguard, which
That's why it's required, yeah, because they can reuse the animation.
yeah, and you know, you can say what you want about that, but I think using that in a different way than Stormguard because technically we are in space here. I know.
Mhm.
I mean, it works in Stormguard because we have like conductors in the wings that hold us up with the lightning from the nearby magnets, and like that's why the wingsuit doesn't let us fly elsewhere, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
whole deal with it. Is
and
that, yeah, these are wings,
and
but
we
are
didn't get
understand
any
how
of that
physics
here.
works.
We didn't get any of that here for this. And
Rule
No.
of cool.
I'm
It just
okay
works.
with that, and you have to
A
suspend
lot of the
disbelief
quests.
sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
Rule of
It's like Star Trek with the spore drive, right? You guys
I get
haven't
to
watched
fly.
that, right?
It is dope.
But I honestly, and this is the part of the quest that I'll say caused me my problems is that I probably did you know a lap or 2 around the island trying to figure out exactly where my landing pad was.
Yeah, there's a
Oh.
ton of them. But
But if you know what
I
to
hear
look
you.
for,
Exactly.
If
If
you
you
know to
know
look
what
for
to
that
look
one
for.
specific sharp-looking rock with like the plants flanking it at the entrance, yeah. But yeah, and they use the exact same jumping off piece for every place it was, which is both a good use of bottleneck and a good visual indicator. But until you learn what that is, yes, absolutely hard to see.
Yeah. So you get to the main island there, and you are then, after you make the reunion of Zoob back with the other Star Sprite people. That's what we're calling them, right? Like, do they have a species name? Just Star Sprites?
I don't think we saw one. No.
Okay, so
I don't think so.
well, we'll just
Yeah.
go with Star Sprite people then.
Yep.
You make the meet up with the other Star Sprite people, and you discover that, oh well, maybe there is some sort of ecological thing going on here with the planet, and it's causing some sort of problem. So that's where we shift out of, bring this character home to, what can our character do about it to help ourselves along the way.
Yep.
Because without that, there would be no quest, right? Because otherwise it would just be, like a 5-minute short quest unlocking the area
Right. Yeah. And
to
this
the
is
tune
it's
of
not like
Lost
this
City.
is out of nowhere. Like this is the why he can't teleport back is because something's wrong with their what would Anima Numdi,
Anima Mundi.
which
Amina Numdi.
which
they
is
changed it. Okay.
probably
Both the N and M is swapped in both words.
which is probably wrong use of the word Anima Mundi, because that usually means the gnomes translates like world soul, and
Yeah.
So
he does not have a world soul.
Anima is the magic of a place. Mundi would be our world, right? So it's in this
Yeah.
case they did use anima correctly.
Yes.
And
It shouldn't
they
have said-
talk about it. They fix it later in the quest where they're talking about the Star Sprite's anima. They drop the
Yes.
Mundi from it, but yeah.
Right, but they kept the start as like a he can't pronounce it joke.
Well, and hear me out too. At this point in the story, do we know what Anima Mundi is well enough to like know that that's wrong, right? Like, is it just
At this point in the
does it
story.
make sense for our character or for the spiritual? Like, I don't know where they put this in the timeline version. Not
Most
timeline, but-
recent, so
Oh, really? It is.
Yeah,
It is
okay.
under most recent.
yeah.
But do they
So,
put it like
I don't know.
if you sort
I-
by
it's
the
it's
like
such a nitpick. By
what's-
timeline, it's
what's
most
the-
recent,
Yeah. What's the there's
do
a
put it
way to
age
sort
ambiguous.
this.
but
They got rid of the sorting. They used to have a sorting that was like the novice quest and the heroic quest and the
that's
legendary. Remember
that's
those?
timeline. That's timeline.
Oh, that is timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is just timeline agnostic? Oh, yeah, it is. There we
This
go.
is the most
Adventurer.
recent. It's after Eclipse.
Well, then yeah, that's okay. We can't.
So we
argue-
know
we can't
exactly
argue
what
with-
that is, and
We should. Yeah, we should.
and our character, has the discussion about this, and presumably with this, it's not as though that they're fresh off the boat from Tutorial Island, that they've never experienced, a divination rift or anything, around the Sixth Age. So
Right.
I think that discussion can be had.
But it's also like I think we're gonna. This is kind of like a standalone like casual quest. I don't think like it's.
No, it's not
It
trying
doesn't
to be.
invite. It doesn't. It's not trying to invite us to
And-
criticize it.
And that's
No,
and,
that's
and
true.
that's
That's
my
100%.
that's my question, is this just a standalone quest, or is there something we should be reading into here going into the future? Because we could have said, for all intents and purposes in November 2018 that the Needle Skips was a standalone quest.
Yes, and I think when it released,
Mm.
yes, it was. But
Oh, I don't think maybe.
I think that with this quest, you can go. I mean, let's go both ways. One, it's standalone. There's not much said. Yeah. If we go the other way and say, okay, what does this mean if we take everything super seriously and like it's all pointing to something? I've seen a lot of posts on Discord and Reddit about like, oh, Astromancy is the next skill. Absolutely, this is confirming it. We're gonna be Astromancers with Wizard Rosalina.
Because wasn't that suggested at one point as a skill?
I think so. At this point, it just keeps making the rounds on all the social medias as like
I mean,
it's a skill with who the hell knows what gameplay, but it means we get to go to like 12 different planets at the same time. So that's why we want it.
It's RS3 sailing is the like, let's go to all of the outlying
Let's go
planes.
to all the planets.
Let's go to, honestly, no, it would be cool if it gave us the opportunity to like, in the same way that archaeology lets us explore dig sites, if Astromancy gave us the excuse to explore Hallow and like to go to all of the other worlds.
Oh, and then what they could basically combine the lore aspects of archaeology with the old school unlocking of resources with sailing.
It's a fun idea, but I think that two issues are A, it never starts with gameplay as to how like
correct
this works.
Yeah.
And B, that is more asking for area expansions than it is a skill, I think.
Correct. Yep, no, 100%.
Those are my issues 100%. With that.
A skill should not be an area expansion on its own. That I don't think does the area expansions or the skill justice.
Right.
And I mean, the other thing you mentioned earlier is like the idea of people like trying to tie this into like these black holes.
Yes,
like,
the Erebus black hole stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
that tie-in.
Yeah, it's obviously a reused asset, the same as I think you had said the portal, but which was also reused from the Shadow Breach stuff for like the monolith and Extinction.
Well, and it seems like all of the other places they've used those portals, I think we decided are actually Erebus portals,
Erebus
right?
Thing,
like,
yes,
pretty effectively.
And if you maybe this is you could say like, oh, this is just some like small Erebus portal rift, whatever, off in space. Sure. I don't think anything in this quest tried to point to it to be that.
No, nothing in
every name and examine says it's something spacey, like Dark Star or something like that.
Right.
And
everything
like,
in the dialogue and in the quest says that it's
oh, there's one thing. It's like hungry. I'm now remembering the question.
I'm gonna take you back because there is. Yeah, and I definitely don't believe this. To be clear, I don't think this is.
You gotta satiate it. Yes.
This is not a Zotac.
Oh, for like, heavens!
As thirsty as we all are for Zotac and Erebus,
but
like as thirsty as the community seems to be, maybe at large, maybe not Shane in particular, but like, I don't think this isn't supposed to be an Erebus Titan as much as it did say in the thing, like it draws in all energy and form.
That's also what a black hole does.
Energy around it, yeah. But again, I don't think that's what Luma. I don't think that's what the crew was going for when they were designing this piece of content. And I don't think like the level requirements in this, just from my own standpoint, the level requirements in this don't seem like this is basic quest to be added in as a requirement for upcoming quest series.
Sure,
right? Like
that's a good point, like technical point.
It requires 3 skills to be above level 70 just for this, as much as it is a fun, cute quest. It is the first fun, cute quest with those kind of requirements and reasonable rewards, I'm going to say. But like, yeah.
Yeah. I think that the biggest pointer for me as to why I don't think this is Erebus stuff is that, and maybe it's just recent bias from doing the Raksha mini quests on Leagues, was that like they were very keen on saying like all of that Erebus Shadow Anima stuff is painful to normal people. Yeah. And none of that's ever a problem with any of the wizards or Rosalina or anyone that's around all this
or
stuff.
Or the Star Sprite people. Yeah.
Like it's not even if the Star Sprites had an immunity to it, like the humans are totally fine. So I'm like, it's probably just normal shit.
Hear me out.
Wizard Rosalina's a Majra.
Are you ready? Nope. Oh, maybe. Strong, interesting point. And also, the Star Sprites are actually the original inhabitants of Erebus, and Zotac is just how like we've got Colossus versions, like Raksha's a Colossus version of a dinosaur. Yep. The Zotac is actually just a Colossus version of a Star Sprite. This is what they started as. This is the Majorat version, like Zotac is to the Star Sprites as Zamorak is to Majorat. He's just like one of them ascended, and that's their final form.
I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
I don't know if I signed up for
I do in fact hate it.
For a Zotac tinfoil hat episode this week.
I went into this quest 110% expecting Star Sprites to be revealed to be Chthonian demons. I mean, look at how ugly they are.
Are you being serious?
They come from space. Chthonian demons typically come from like Ocularis, which is a giant asteroid floating through space. I mean,
well then let's talk about the mysterious decay that we keep finding around Zolarea.
Well, that's just the portal sucking in all life around it.
the weekend,
which is
which
definitely not an Erebus problem. Nope.
I think it's closer to like
Nope.
an Aya.
Oh,
Ah,
where
yeah.
the Mondays.
It's closer to
I think
yeah,
I think you're
like
right. The
feral.
Mondays stopped flowing, and so life stopped growing on the planet.
It's more of like a
vibes.
anima misbalance issue, closer to like all of the other imperfect planets.
I
I
mean,
think.
perfect example, Freniske, actually. You consume all the
Yeah,
anima of a place, the anima place runs out,
it
and
kind of dies.
the result is,
Yep.
yeah, just decay.
Well, then
I think it's
wouldn't we
closer, just
see
like a
more
running
death if that was the
lack of
case here?
more death. I
Like,
mean,
because there's like growing star blooms
there are all the
and
planets.
trees.
You're right. I think that there's
But that's the thing, is
probably
that
like
it's coming in patches, right? Like there's
coming
things that
patches.
are not going as well for it. I think that's
and
actually a very
and the star
reasonable.
sprites seem to have evolved to be like like the opposite, where they like promote growth and stuff like that. Like that's why they're
Mm,
able to feed the star.
One of my favorite
Uh,
bits of dialogue from the quest is learning that they eat for fun, and one of them basically chewed up half his mattress.
yes,
yeah.
the
Well,
random clues that weren't plot relevant were really funny.
and it is interesting too to like the discussion of how they said most of them are going to become light stars, and
hmm
it was just the elders who became dark stars. Like there's some other like
Hmm.
thing at play there.
Hey, if this comes back in 3 years, and like star sprites are like our guides through Erebus or whatever the hell, I'll be like, okay, sure, whatever. But at this point,
Yeah, I mean,
it's like
if this crazy
it's like the
theory,
needle skips to me. It's like the needle skips. It's like, okay, that was a fun story on its own.
Oh, this whole
Leave it.
thing is subtext tinfoil hat to
Oh,
the
yes.
I
nth
wanted to make
degree.
that clear because that's, I mean,
We're talking
Having
about this
fun,
almost
though.
as a joke.
yeah,
No, yes, but yes.
like I mean, if there's people who are going to clip this and say that you two are like RuneScape Alex Jones.
Let's not go that far.
I
I don't
mean,
need that association.
watch me. Uh,
No,
no,
but
there's just enough there that
so
we
so
can go
let's
off
say
these
that there's
crazy
the
tangents,
potential
yeah.
that there's something to jump off to after for that.
Yeah, sure. If they're so inclined.
I don't necessarily know that they will or that that's the truth, but the
The next
hooks
2
are
years
there.
we have Haven Height and Vampirium. Like, I don't think it's an immediate plan.
No, of course not. And you remember what they said on that last reveals live stream, and that they're not shutting the door on anything forever when it comes to people asking about Zaros and whatnot,
They're always going to say that. Yeah, yeah.
because it was categorically said at one point. I think it was after Twilight of the Gods that they're done, and Zaros was a character that was taken off the shelf. But in the most recent reveals live stream, they said, never say never. If there's significant player demand to go a significant lore direction, you never know. They might just do that.
I think that's a more absolute interpretation of the state after Twilight of the Gods than I had interpreted as.
Yeah, well,
I always fear it's like it's on the shelf for 5+ years. Granted, it's been so many years since Twilight. It's been like over 3 years since Twilight of the Gods. Like, it's been a while. Like,
Yeah.
we're probably not far off from like them. Like, give it 2-3 more years, and they're probably like reconsidering. Okay, what's the next direction? What's the next status quo?
I mean,
I don't think it's got like the exact. I don't think it's like literally go back to 2013.
oh hell no,
Post-World
that would be a
RuneScape.
mistake.
well,
But-
but like, and I know they're trying to
They might
move
consider
away
it, yeah.
from cataclysmic events, but like,
Mhm.
speaking of timelines, it's been almost more than 4 years since Zaros vanished into the monolith, and we're like,
Yeah.
all right, he's just out there doing Zaros shit. Like,
Char,
quick reminder,
Tony, who
Yeah.
else? Next,
Yeah. Oh,
Next is
Nex.
Next is with Alzanadra. That's not Erebus, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, who? Somebody, Char went in.
Char,
didn't
Char,
she?
yeah, Char.
Yeah. So,
those are beloved
Terrifying.
characters.
yeah,
So
and maybe future boss fights.
Maybe future boss fights.
okay,
God
so
Wars 4, Erebus.
so
You heard it here
we
first.
want to pretense that entire section that
Goodness.
was partially tinfoil hat, partially joking around, right?
Yes,
Primarily.
absolutely. The tinfoil hat is fun, but you have to know it's a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I can see that.
We're not expecting this to be reality. It would be real fun if we were right, but that is
Right. I
we're
expect the next
we're
quest.
pulling very deeply at straws.
The next quest isn't let's go off in Erebus. The next quest is welcome to Haven Heights.
Would you
100%.
guys believe it or
Yeah.
not that
100%.
the last time we did one of our update surveys that we, send out to everybody, people said they like it when we do those big, deep, hypothetical discussions like that.
Ooh,
Sure.
well, I can do more of those.
We can deliver. I mean,
And deliver.
the thing with Havenhithe too is that Havenhithe is promised as vampires. Like it is promised that the next few years we're going to be going to Vampirium, not Erebus. And that's not
Right.
to say there it won't be a tie-in there. There likely will be, right? Where they're
There probably is, yes.
setting things up, right? The same way that they set up the Majorat series for years without kind of explaining what was actually happening with the ritual or anything.
Or just, I'll see you up north.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been sending random people to Erebus for half a decade or more already. So, like, off to the Shadow Realm with you, Yugi. We'll get there eventually, and Havenhithe may relate to that, but we're not getting any of those stories anytime soon. At least I don't expect them anytime soon. I guess I could be pleasantly surprised.
The same way we got like a very upfront, here's how it is, Erebus, couple lines lore dump in Eclipse of the Heart. At the very end, I would expect something similar at the very end of like at Vampirium.
Yeah, and I was just going to say,
yes.
my thought with the whole Havenhithe expansion thing when it comes to story is they'll probably borrow the Varlamore trajectory from Old School, where the first one is basically introducing us to the areas and customs, where we might be able to get a bit of a hint of what's going on there. Second one will progress that, and then the third will effectively get us knee deep in that and move on to the next thing.
They straight up told us on release it's going to be the town and maybe some of the surrounding areas. The next one's going to be like the wilds and Hunter, and then the third one's going to be fucking desolate wasteland full of vampires. So
yeah,
it's coming.
So, one other thing I wanted to touch on with the whole Zolarea thing is that did either of you have difficulties finding the 12 clues without using like contrast mode and whatnot?
I'll counterpoint you. I did not find all 12 clues.
Okay.
I only found 5.
I got 11.
I only found
You did
5
it with 5? That's pretty lucky.
I got 11 of 12 by the time I was done.
I looked at the quick guide afterwards. The quick guide, I think, does it with 4. I got 1 extra. I got 1 random extra. Yeah, I got 5. So, I don't know. I mean, I just didn't know. I ran out of places to look. I got 5. I said, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. There's a star bloom somewhere here that I haven't found yet. And I just went and talked to Rosalina, and it just happened that it worked.
And that was the one that was outstanding for me, is that I had the star bloom in my inventory, and I never got rid of it.
I never figured that one out, yeah. I think it was, when I was all said and done, I think it was very interesting that, like, the most obvious 2 or 3, like, finding the cave and then talking about the cave and stuff like that, were like the main path, where like all of the more obscure ones were not. I thought the cave was like one of the most obvious things.
Yeah, and then
I didn't see the cave at all. The cave was less fun.
Well, then see, that's what I mean without high contrast mode.
I did not turn it on. Yeah,
this is not a fair criticism, and I'm gonna be honest about that. I had trouble with click boxes in this quest. Getting on and off of the glider and clicking that cave, I had trouble figuring out where I was supposed to click because I was clicking on what I saw as the object on my screen and it was not working. So I don't know where the click boxes are for them, but something was weird there for me.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't have that issue, but I could absolutely see it, especially with being such like a more 3D space.
Yeah, and I mean, in general, high contrast mode fixes the bulk of that.
It shouldn't have to.
No, it shouldn't.
I think we're gonna make several of the environment mods very sad. Same thing with, like, they keep making pretty skyboxes. I would love to have that Zolarea skybox available, and I know they don't want to give it to us. No, it's new. That's new. Okay. Well, it's not the Shattered Worlds one.
Okay, that's probably why I thought it was. The landscape was very not new, but I appreciated the reuse.
Yeah.
I was surprised, honestly, that a quest like this, a standalone quest like this, got an entire new environment for it. Which, I mean,
so did Duck Quest.
Recolored Easter Hub, you mean?
What
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
The
Yes.
ground tiles and the caves and a lot of that. Yeah, they added some new plants. They changed the plants up a little bit,
Oh
but
my
yeah,
God.
a lot of the
Yeah.
plants are actually repeats of each other at different angles. Yeah.
I mean, I went and I was like, okay, so this is kind of like Mighty Fall. It's like when they reused Frenascape Ubius, right? Like,
Yeah.
I did not
just what
notice
if
that.
then they did their job then.
Well, they also added a few things like the jumping off points, those
Hmm.
sharp angles. That's from the
Tuska Animal
Tuska
Islands?
obstacle course. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Anima Island obstacle course. So they added in a few things from like the remove Tuska one, which that makes sense because those assets are free
Hmm.
real estate at this point. But yeah,
Yes.
All right.
Hey, the fact you didn't notice is compliments to
Yeah.
the chef, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. And
very pretty
and
environment.
and
Very
and I'm trying to think is
always.
that I don't think that they've done anything of this color palette yet either.
Mm,
I think it looked a little like Tarthiad to me.
yeah, I
Okay.
would say. Sorry, and then the Skybox itself is a little cosmic entity plane meets oh my gosh, meets Shattered Worlds.
Yeah, Shadow Worlds, yeah.
Like particularly nighttime Shattered Worlds,
All right.
But still, like
because that was one of the things they
a new
RNG'd.
mix can still be its own thing.
Oh yeah.
So after you put that together, you discover that parts of the planet are dying, and that's where we get to the whole dark star business with the elders that has the Erebus
Hmm.
looking portal. We already went down the Erebus path, so I don't think uh
We can move on.
I think we can move on from that. But any comments on the ritual that they did and how you had to
Um,
Simon's a fine game. It's not really a
yep.
puzzle.
yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
mean, fun little quest puzzle. A lot of this was like
I wouldn't say the okay.
story appropriate fetch quest meets cute little investigative puzzle.
Yeah, none of the gameplay or investigating like broke my mind. Like I think that sometimes Mod Luma has like done like something really really cool. Like I thought that the potion demon curse puzzle in Twilight of the Gods was really cool with
Hmm.
The Wordle
minimal,
thing?
not the word, no, at the beginning when you're like trying to make the cure, but you have to like, figure
Yeah,
out
the
which
Wordle thing
part
too,
is.
though.
Oh,
The word thing
okay.
was very cool too. But like I thought like she's done a lot of really cool stuff with kind of a little and just like scenery interactions and stuff like that before. I
Hmm.
thought this was just fine. The
Yeah.
I think at least the investigation, the way the chat tree advanced
Yes,
was unique, and
I
how you
agree.
had to find the right things and pick the right things. But other than that,
You
it
actually
was
had to
pretty
read it
simple.
if you
Right.
weren't doing the quick guide.
If you weren't doing the quick guide, which 30 minutes after the
Every
quest comes out, you're not. Uh,
every time I played this quest on an alt, I'm sorry. No, you know what? No. The
that's
first
fine.
time I did, I'm gonna find all 12 hints. I'm gonna make sure I find all 12 hints the next time. But after
Okay.
that, other than that, we're quick writing that. Also, we're pre-buying 4 Phoenix Layer teleports. Like we're not doing this back and
And
forth nonsense.
and I guess overall, I mean, when we get to the end of the story here, it does what it needs to do in a nice concrete manner for the star sprites. And um I'm not going to say that this is, lore that we were anticipating, but it's definitely appreciated, I'll say.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that looking at the story and how it came to be, I think the goal was probably just to release the area and like put a story appropriate to that in it,
Because when you consider
which
it, the other option is to put the
worked.
meteorite fragments on the north of the Piscatoris coast alongside a new
Oh,
flower
you're going all the
patch.
way to reward. I guess so. I think that they made a really cool area and like they just wanted to like get us there and like fly around it, which I think is
I
cool.
mean,
Uh,
from what it sounded like to me, this was a passion project from Maud Luma, who loves
yeah.
Star Sprites and wanted to put more Star Sprite lore in the game and said, "Hi, I'm going to make a quest about this." And people said, "Okay."
Mhm. Hey, it's
And
came at the right time. Then they had the
yeah,
quest slot. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess the question out there to the players and to the listeners is that, um, do you want more quests like this that are just kind of one off?
I like a lot of the one-off quests, but I kind of wish Like I feel like we did Violet is Blue and everybody was like, this is the best thing that has ever been done. I want 12 more just like it. I am fully guilty of this. I think I was on one of the Violet is Blue quest episodes. And like either that or one of the yeah, Christmas episodes where we talked about it. But like quest was amazing and lovely and so much like warm fuzziness that I think at the time that quest came out we kind of needed. Um
Oh yeah, wasn't
Frankly.
that December 2020?
I think it may have been earlier than that actually, but I remember it coming out and being like, "Oh my God, life is crazy right now. I just needed this level of chill in my life." Violet is blue. So like, and that was nice, but like, and it was certainly better than the slime quest, which I believe came first. It was an improvement. 2018 is Violet is blue.
Old.
Yeah.
Oh, Violet is Blue 2
Violet is
was
teenager.
2020.
Violet Blue 2 was December 2020, and that one was definitely nice. But like, yeah, like I think maybe because it just came so close on the heels of Duck Quest that like one of these quests every few years feels great. Where I'm super happy to spend 90 minutes doing a happy little fetch quest, a simple little puzzle, and like walking away with a new little area that is pretty. You know, i.e. Yeti Town or the spiritual successors
Paddlington.
thereof. So like, yeah, but this one
Might be too soon.
it might be. I think as a newer player coming into the game and trying to like just take everything off their quest list, where this isn't showing up immediately, this is going to be a very welcome surprise when they hit their level 70s, right? Like, I think that for a person playing through the quest list new, this is probably much better. And like the rewards for it are substantial for the time investment in terms of the number of quest points and the amount of XP, reasonably speaking. Right? We can't be mad about that. It's a fair XP reward for the amount of time the quest takes.
I don't know. Evil Days, Big Day Out gives more. Gives
Yeah, but that quest is overtuned and we
more
all
than
know it.
everything. Yep.
It's an unreasonable amount of XP. Given it does require partial RFD and a handful of other things, right? So like there's some
Ugh.
reason there, but yeah. I don't know. I like the cutesy. The cutesy is always fun. I think when I eventually play this on the GIM several months from now, I'm gonna enjoy it probably. Again, I'll actually make sure I get all 12 of the dialogue hints for that one. But
And
I think.
go ahead,
Oh,
Abernathy.
go ahead.
No, you first.
I'm going to preface this by my internet cut out for a hot 20 seconds there, so I'm presuming the question was about uh, what we had in the doc, which was the two main Q quests.
Yes.
mhm.
I think that there's other types of standalone quests than cute quests. And
Mm.
nowadays, whenever we have an opportunity for standalone quests, they keep being cute quests.
Because they've
And
been doing such heavy quests for their main quest line, they want
right,
something.
but
Yeah.
some of my favorites are like One Piercing Note, Broken Home, even Needle Skips, or You Are It.
Mm.
Like there's the other side of it. I think that there
Enlightened
within standalone
Journey.
quests, we need to be going
Nope.
between.
Elemental
Nope.
Workshop.
Yes.
I mean, no, but Elemental Workshop is a great example, I think, where they make a quest that is based around a really good puzzle, and like that's like Broken Home is like that. It's a quest based around and it's themed very differently. But I think that a quest that's just hey, we have a really good puzzle, let's just make it into a quest is great. Same idea with like I mean, gosh, what was some of the other things you said? Because there were a couple that was like because there are other varieties
There
of
are,
like
there are other breaks we can take other than this one, and the fact that we've gotten two now in a row,
oh
I felt it.
yeah. I mean, I think silly. Like both of these are
Silly,
like
yes, silly.
they're kind of silly, but they're like these are
Where
meant
do-
to be cute. And I would like there are some quests that are just meant to be ridiculous.
Yeah, and
Like
my question is, where does the cute
Mm.
fit in with the
Closer to Gower Quest.
with the holiday quests?
yes. Well, yeah. I mean, Gower Quest, even like I think One Small Favor was probably on that board. Like given One Small Favor
Yeah.
isn't actually fairly deep into several quest lines, but like We're just
But
like, this is silly. This is not a reasonable quest thing that they're asking us to do. This is just a set of tasks that chain together.
right. So in Shane, you asked about holiday quest. I
Yeah,
think
where
that
do
this is also
holidays fit
close
into
to the
that?
holiday. This is close to
Mhm.
also so close to the holiday quest feel
Yeah.
that
Yep.
it's also going to be like we're going to do the Halloween quest next week, and it's going to be like this is more of the same.
Wow. Wait,
It's next
did
week. Yeah.
we did we get a cutesy quest for Easter too? We
Not this
did,
year.
didn't we?
No. This year they just
No.
like they gave it
Oh,
as Duck Quest.
I didn't do it last year. That's right. Okay.
Right. That's what so it was new to you this year.
Yeah, because I was on break. Wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
at the point where they're substituting in the holiday quest for Duck Quest, it's like okay, it's that vibe.
No, it is that vibe.
So I just want to make sure we're not only doing this type of standalone quests going forward as like because it's always going to be a main series quest or a
Yeah.
cutesy standalone. I think that there's good
There's
room
room for
for doing
runes
other standalones.
for good like solid just quest puzzle. Because that's the thing. Honestly, our quests, RuneScape's quests, having played quite a few number of other MMOs at this point, RuneScape has the best quests in terms of puzzles. Like our quests
Mhm.
have the largest variety of puzzles and like actually make you think. Like there's no going into a quest and saying, "Aha, I see this item or I see this thing and like I'm expecting to do this action." Like you
Mhm.
that's just not a thing that happens with our quests. They've done such a good job of that, and there is an opportunity to keep. I mean, I love Elemental Workshop is probably just the simplest example of that, right? Where it's just like
Sure.
these are just good puzzles. You walk in there with no guide, and you can figure it out. In like,
Mhm.
it's not undoable. There's some that are probably too challenging, but like
But
by and
I
large,
think it's been a while since we got like one. I think the last puzzle in a quest I was very happy with was the Erebus one in Extinction. I think the last one that blew me away was either
Blood
the blood
puzzle?
bank puzzle
Yeah.
in Cities and Tiston or the
mm-hmm.
language puzzle in Desperate Measures. Those two were like really impressive. So like, it's been
I
a long time since I've been very, very happy with the puzzle.
What about the one we talked about a couple of months ago with Zerdones in the desert one?
Eclipse, I
Yeah.
thought that was fine. I thought I didn't think I had to like plan it out or think it through. I just kind of like did the motions. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe it's too close to like a slider puzzle for me.
And I think
yeah,
and
bad.
and I just want to slice through all this because in the event anybody at the studio is listening who has done this, this wasn't a bad quest by any
No, it was
by
not.
any
Oh,
by
we're
any
gonna do our
stretch of
ratings
the
at some point soon,
imagination. What we're basically pointing out is like, is there a way to do standalone quests that aren't just the cutesy quests?
right, which is maybe more of a question. Like I get that this is like what they had like available in the pipeline to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually been very recent since Eclipse came out. So like the fact that they got a quest of this size out this quickly is pretty
Sure.
impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Um,
Thank you, Modluma. We appreciate you.
Modluma and
Don't get it twisted.
Strikes or whoever helped to do
Yeah, the whole team.
actually put it in the game. It's just that two in 1 year was felt is probably the point I'd want to get across.
Okay.
Two QT quests in 1 year.
Yeah, and I think we saw that as well based on just how things were. So before we move on to the rewards, I'm going to thank our Patreon supporters for the week. This week, that's Alvaro L, Amos Reed, Arvids L, Bladecom, Chilbura, Dominic R, Duramax, Gilafleur, Imperialis, Jade Gizmo, Jason S, Jesse W, Julia W, Keski, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Michelle M, Mike Wings, Mongraph, Pernasius, Ricky A, Robbie D, Runestar, Rob Soms, Samuel FL, Scott DS, Shirt Pants, Sioaces, Smavin, Snail Mage, Tabby, The Naked Captain, The Dabbing Goat, Tim, Ukulele Steve, Woody, Zant, and Zazakon. Thank you so much, everybody. Patreon.com/RSBANB if you want to see what all this is about. We have tiers starting for as little as $1 a month, and for that price you'll gain access to an entire back catalog of 85 plus monthly bits, bonus episodes we like to call them. We got one coming down the pipeline that we're going to be recording early next week with these two people actually here on the topic of region locking in RuneScape leagues. We're going to have a conversation about that, and then for next month we'll get back to the regular topics at hand for the last for the last, you guys sit it down, for the last 2 monthly bits of 2025. We're coming up to that point.
It's holiday season. I put up
Where
the
did they
Halloween
hear?
tree today.
Oh, very nice.
You heard me.
Yeah, that's why I sent you the video of the opossum, because I knew you like that kind of stuff. Anyways, more on that after. Yeah, anyways, that sounds weird. But,
Later.
Patreon.com/RSBANB, as I throw my pen across the room by accident. We have another tier available, $3 a month, the VIP tier. You'll get access to a Discord channel, Discord rank, and high quality stereo versions of the podcast, amongst everything else. And of course, we also do have for $5 a month the Insider tier. You'll receive a shout out on the podcast each and every week and gain exclusive access to the outtakes that we use to make the clip show at the end of the year. Another thing coming down the pipe. Patreon.com/RSBNB. Thanks so much, everybody. And we're gonna try and have a fun conversation on region locking next week.
I have opinions, and I am very excited to talk about it.
Wonderful. All right, so we talked about the cute quests. We talked about the Erebus, tinfoil
business.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Not Erebus rather than the tinfoil hat stuff.
Yeah.
Which leads us, of course, to the rewards for the quest: 30k mining and divination XP. The magical meteorite chunk that teleports you directly back to Zolarea, 5% increased experience when mining shooting stars, and then on Zolarea you have the flower patch that you can use to grow your star bloom flowers, which gives you a 25% increased yield, and meteorites that you can mine there that allow you to create meteorite cannonballs, which deal 150% more damage.
Wait, did you say that the flower patch there gives an increased yield?
Yeah, when you're growing star bloom, 25%.
It gives
cool.
It gives 5 instead of 4, right? Or no, 15 instead of 12.
Cool.
Based on your farming level, yeah. So.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because they changed that scaling, they brought it down in the in the farming skill tree before 110 crafting came. So pretty much everybody can access that top tier now if you have, I think it's like
Reasonable.
74 plus farming. So 25% yield extra on that. These new cannonballs require 85 crafting to crush the meteorites, and then 85 smithing to smith the cannonballs.
I think to get that amount of XP, just grinding at level 70 would take, probably a combined 20 or 30 minutes, which is effectively saying, hey, the quest rewards you for your time. If you're trying to rush through it, because you just want the XP, then it's worth doing, which I think is just the base of what quests should be doing. So I like that, just as a baseline. And then the meteorite chunk is a fun little transmog, but also the teleport back, which, as you
Makes
say,
the
good
farming
for
patch usable.
Yep, that.
There's even a bank there.
Well, it's a bank, and it's also, although the bank's not super close to the teleport destination, but it's also an easy way to get to North Piscatoris, because there's not a great teleport up. I mean, you can take the lodestone and then talk to Kathy Corkhead at the boat to go up to near the falconry area. So it's not,
Or the ferry ring.
And there's the ferry ring, but if you want to get up towards the Needle Skips area, it's a new closest teleport to that, potentially. So it's,
it's a good reward slate.
Is it? I mean, wouldn't you have to teleport and then jump off the cliff and fly over to the other island and jump back on?
Oh, that's right, because the portal's not. The portal's
on the main
a wingsuit away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a teleport.
At that point,
you're right.
At that point, it's
not closer.
Poison.
Yeah. Well, I mean, regardless, teleport's fine. It makes the farming patch usable. Yep. So strong work on that. They couldn't have made that farming patch there without putting something. So
yeah, exactly. As per the cannonballs, the cannons are initially upgraded with the upgrades you get from the Nodon on the Nodon front for their Slayer assignment. That's 150. Then you have another 150 here from the meteorite cannonball. So this is a buff to cannonballs, to, I guess, to just bring them in line damage wise with something that's not too horrible in this day and age.
Sure.
Well, the other thing is, how much time does it take to gather the resources to make these cannonballs? Because, you can only make so many of them an hour, and I have not done this math, and probably should have coming into this, but it might be that it's genuinely, like, these cannonballs are going to be very expensive to use, I think, based on how fast you go through them and how long they take to mine. Which
On one
may
side,
be,
yes. On the other side, what's the XP look like, though?
well, that's a question of, like, this is skilling for profit as an option now, potentially, which I think we talk a lot about how skilling should be profitable. And so from that aspect, I think possibly a good thing. Cannon's getting used at more Slayer tasks. I know our local Slayers are up in arms. Sorry, guys.
I am not a cannon user, so I'm actually curious where they want cannons to end up being, because I know like we've had the bad
Cannons are
extreme
really
before,
strong in the asylum for the abyssal creatures.
Yes, that's actually the one place I
They're-
have used it.
They're
so
they're
good.
good at like pulling aggro, right? So they're
Mhm.
like in the places you can use them.
I know
Yeah.
back in the day, an old favorite, and this is, going way back, was Dagonauts, but we don't do that anymore. And that's why I cited the Sintistan Asylum as some of the options for that. But
Yeah.
and I agree. I think this is probably a skilling profit thing, because how many people are there going to be mining meteorite dust and then slapping that meteorite dust on other cannonballs, right?
No one.
So
I expect, I mean, it could be an Iron Man thing, like, and there are places where you use, or you used to be able to use, I guess I don't know anymore, but you used to be able to like put cannons down next to Corp and have cannons present in like to help you kill Corp faster. But I don't know if that's still a thing. So it could be that like you use these for stuff like bigger targets. I don't know.
I honestly feel like the best use case is probably going to be those abyssal creatures, because even when they came out and we had the upgraded Nodon cannons, that was kind of slow there. So I think the extra 50% here is going to be a good benefit.
Will it make a difference? Like you said, you use cannons to pull aggro, so it's like little more damage on them. Really,
Well, see, the regular
the
cannonball
point.
does something like 1,200 damage. This brings it up to 1,728,
Okay.
or 1,152 is the regular one.
It's not nothing, but it ain't massive.
No.
I mean, again,
Yeah.
it's something that could potentially lead to profitable skilling. Again, based on how much like
You know what I think its best use will be? It'll be a great leaks task for Kandarin.
True.
Oh my god.
Make meteorite the cannonballs.
But then the quest
The game has had so many meteors,
then the
right?
quest must be auto completed for me to do this task, or else I am not doing that. The pitchfork says.
I don't know. I think Vaxie said it all. The experience is worth your time. So
Exactly. Speaking of experience as well, 5% increase for mining XP on shooting stars.
Yeah. I mean, the shooting stars are the no profit, honestly, pretty solid XP
Mhm.
option, right? Like that's kind of their place in meta
And
right now.
they're still special. They're not as though that this must be the thing you do for AFK mining. There's plenty of other ways to do AFK mining in the game.
Well, you mine for smithing, you mine for crafting, right? So, like you, reasonably speaking, this should not take over. Like stars are somebody who wants to specifically get mining XP and is like for a main who wants to buy gems and bars to craft and smith with and wants to be like time efficient and not gold efficient. These are really good. And that I think is the use case for them. I don't think this is particularly useful for Iron Man, right?
No.
So that honestly, from that aspect, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not mad about that.
I mean, the reward slate starting with the 2 quest points and then moving through the XP and then the cannonballs and now this and then just the 500 Stardust on top. I think I'm going to say I think the rewards for this quest are very, very generous for what you do.
I think they're very appropriate, but for a quest that's based in the level 70s, I don't actually know that they're amazing. Because I think, again, a lot of people aren't mining. Like, the Iron Men get extra Star Bloom. The non-Iron Men potentially get extra mining XP from stars. The Stardust is fine. I don't know. And the XP is reasonable for the amount of time it takes. None of this is
blowing out of the water.
Nothing is blowing me out of the water.
Okay.
It's
But
an
I like
alternative thing to do to get that experience, which maybe like that's the point of a cutesy quest is it's a break. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I like the rewards as they've ended up. Strong work. I don't mean to like poo-poo on this at all.
No,
I
of
think
course
that
not.
it is solid reward for the effort. Is this something that I'm going to be rushing to do on every account? Probably not. Like, is it something that I would do on the GIM if I didn't also need it for Questscape? Probably not. I mean, again, maybe if I was really shy on Starbloom seeds, but the thing is, if I'm planting Starbloom seeds on an Iron Man because I just don't love farming, I'm not going to just plant them one at a time in this patch. I'm doing them with my herb runs at the regular flower patches as well. So like realistically to me, for my gameplay, this becomes a 6.5% Starbloom buff, not a 25% Starbloom buff, right?
right.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, and you know, I think that's okay when you look at everything. And the other thing that, of course, comes from this is that this week's content and last week's content sets the precedent that they have added new content during a League's game mode, which is something that old school typically does not do. And you know,
I don't think that's true.
I don't think they add big content drops during Leagues. I don't remember experiencing either of those within
They don't do
Raging
like a
Echoes or
Varlamore.
Trailblazer.
They don't do like a Varlamore level expansion, but they've definitely released updates during Leagues.
Well, patches.
I don't know if they've ever done a quest.
Yeah, I don't know that it's been a quest.
I mean, I don't think of quests, and I'm sorry again, I don't know that I think of quests as big updates. Like, in terms of major gameplay altering things, like, it's just a quest. They added a quest. Like, that's fine. For Leagues, that's fine. Like, does it impact League's gameplay at all? No.
No, it
potentially
doesn't.
adds something.
It adds 65 rune score, as Avernick pointed out to us.
Yeah, which is not League's relevant. But yeah.
It's another requirement for the Dark Lord title, which you need for that one master test.
Well, again, we'll talk about these tasks in the bit next week, but it does.
Yes, we will.
Fact that they added achievements is
it's not
in
really
the area.
Yeah.
In the exploration does mean that they have additional levers to track for future potential leagues as additional tasks if they need additional tasks, which we'll get there.
Double surge in space.
You gotta love a double surge in space, but also just like turn into a star sprite in front of somebody is a very simple task that does not require additional regions, right? It's did you do the quest? Here's points.
Yeah, and I mean all these are easy 10-point tasks that they could add to a future Kandarin region.
Well, you still have to live level 70 and everything. Oh, the thing. Give me 30. Give me 30 points for that one. You know.
Fine.
Give me a medium task.
Let's negotiate. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Leagues wise, I mean, I think it's fine to release content during leagues. I mean, I think that maybe there's a concern if you try to nerf something, so like people in the league who are probably trying to be competitive about the league are like felt like they had to rush to get something in before a nerf, maybe. But beyond that, I don't know. It's fine.
I think I asked this question be added to the show before the show. I think there's like different types of updates, and it's interesting to think like what's acceptable versus not. Like I think last week we saw, and maybe Shane, you might have saw more of it. There was a lot of discontent with releasing content that might be like capture the community's attention. Like
because A Mask at 4K was supposed to come out last week with the combat achievements, and in a last minute decision, they decided to just make it the combat achievements.
So like there's that side of it is like, oh, there's things that are begging my attention in the main game that would take away
Are
time from leagues.
you
That's
gonna
one
do
side of it.
2K and 4K, Avernick?
No.
Okay.
I've done 500. I'm pretty happy there. Um, so that's one side of it. Then we have a totally different side. It's like, okay, what about like the 110, 120, like would 120 thieving release during leagues? I think everyone would say no. Like,
No.
I don't think they'd want to bounce around it. I don't think they'd want to release it during
I
the league
think
or have it
I
be
think
available in the league.
I think that's fair. Updates that significantly impact gameplay, I think, are probably questionable, right? Like introducing
Right.
new methods like that, I would be a
Like
little
ice.
bit
Right.
concerned. Because that, again, especially if you are like region locked and it's like a specific haven height thing or whatever, you know?
That would, oh yeah, when
Um,
we're region locking. Oh yeah, when we're no longer in the leagues where everything has to be accessible. Uh, then
yeah,
yes, even
well,
more of a problem. Or where it would
yeah.
impact your leagues, your relic choices
Right,
or
because
whatever
I
the
mean,
hell.
if you wanted to be a canon person in a region locked league, you would need to take this and whatever gives you Syntiston.
Ooh, a cannon relic would be really funny as like a relic that
Oh
enables
God.
combat style of
Oh,
cannon.
In
God.
fairness,
That'd be funny as hell.
oh my God, can you imagine your cannon now does 1000% damage?
I'm a
No.
cannon
Fuck,
main.
I'm in, lads. Cannon Andy's over here. You not a Cannon Andy, get out.
You don't level any of your combat skills, you just use cannon.
Yeah, hit points, never heard of her. Don't need that XP. I only get combat XP. Um, no, that's not reasonable, but it is something to say that they did regionally. You get a cannon unlocked in Kandarin plus Ascarnia. Um,
Yeah.
That is
assuming
different than
Mitzvah
old
is free.
school.
No, it's the same as old school. What do you mean?
I thought you had to. Wasn't it only Kandarin in old school?
Because you have to buy the cannon in Ascarnia.
Okay.
You have to have access to because they block off the barbarian camp is considered Asgarnia, right? Barbarian camp north of
Right.
Falador.
Okay.
Everything north or east of like Draenor Manor is Asgarnia.
You mean west?
Or correct.
West.
I do mean west. Swiss.
uh, but yeah, I think there's just different lines of what you can and can't release during leagues. I think that we've very quickly seen what they're willing to like quest. I think like even Dex, you're like, yeah, it's just a quest. So like that's not. But there are quests that are game changing. Like it depends.
And I
Standalone
wouldn't
QC
release
quests
Endgame.
aren't.
I wouldn't release Extinction. You know,
Wouldn't
like.
release Eclipse.
Mm, ooh, you know what? No, I think they would release New Boss. I think New Boss during leagues is actually pretty freaking hype because then everybody learns the boss in leagues. I think that's actually kind of ideal.
I am of a controversial opinion, probably then in these parts, that I think leagues should be incredibly sterile, and that during
Why?
the leagues period there should only be patch notes
Why?
for the people who are, pushing Dragon Cup and
Because he's a
beyond
planner.
in the race. I don't think that you should be changing the ground underneath that if it
Well,
is
it's
a
not going to be
competitive
worth
mode.
points. If it's new content, it's not going to be worth tasks and points.
What if it adds a new
Right, it has
weapon
to be
because you said
significant
Eclipse
in
or
meta
whatnot,
changing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like sure, then you have to spend time grinding for that. If you're grinding for first place, you're not taking the time to do that. That's not changing anything for you. Again, I think it's really cool to let people try the new content with leagues buffs. I think that would have been very reasonable.
Could you imagine a mascot then on that?
With leagues
Oh,
with leagues
well, yeah,
buff,
no,
yes, I can
there's-
currently imagine a mascot
the
with
other
leagues
side of it
buff.
is that they took a mascot like world first races very seriously, right? Like they streamed it, they had competitions. Like you wouldn't have that at all. if
No,
they released
absolutely
during
not.
leagues. They'd have to give it up
Why wouldn't you?
because the world first would be on.
Because there was
because
and see
they
this
were
is
very much trying to like hide like mechanics like by not having normal mode even available. Like
Yeah, but
But-
like
but there was also a big community discussion last week and the week before that it's like, hey, please don't release anything big in terms of like a mask at 4K during
EDM,
leagues because
yeah.
it's going to take eyes off the league and it's going to make people go back to that and people weren't ready to put the league down yet.
I don't think the
That's-
community
That's
would
the
want it that way.
conversation that
That's the
led
thing,
to
is
a mask
it-
at 4K being held.
it's the same reason as you were mentioning like 120 thieving shouldn't be released during a league is because that would be like I want to get that on my main. I'm going to leave the league. 'Cause I think anything that was going to pull people away from leagues for more than an afternoon is probably a poor choice as a release. I think that's
Okay.
very fair.
Okay. So then probably not bosses.
Yeah, probably not bosses.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
still
that's fair,
gonna
I
go with my
suppose.
sterile viewpoint, but that's
Yep.
just me with competition and whatnot. Granted, I'm not competing. I'm not
Not
sleeping
easy.
3 hours a night like Levin talked about last week.
Wild. I considered it the first night of leagues. I really did.
Oh, but you were
Oh.
you had
I did play
something
it for like,
big that weekend.
I had work.
yeah, I was getting married that week, but you know,
Oh,
but I was getting world first in archaeology on leagues, so you know, priorities.
true, true. The wedding? Who needs it?
Okay. Yeah.
It's like the guy who was in
Danger,
the
Robinson.
Amasket Discord on the launch week rather than at a childbirth.
Oh no.
I still hope that was a meme.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Rating Quest out of 5 here. What do we got, Avernick?
How do we feel about half numbers?
That's fine.
3.5.
All right.
Oh, I hope I'm not being too brutal. I would say 3. This quest was just fine. I enjoyed it. It didn't, it was solid. It did the job. The setting, the everything beautiful, the whole background, but it was too close to the other cutesy quests. My brain didn't love the quest part of it. They did fine. Middle of the road, 3 out of 5.
I'm gonna go with Avernick's 3.5.
I think that's very fair.
And the biggest reason for that, like I said, the thing that annoyed me the most was, just trying to find the things on the area without a high contrast mode. But that's probably more of a me thing.
You're representing Tanis today.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's that. I thought of asking him if he was going to do this quest, but then halfway through I realized it was another eye test, and I didn't. So,
yeah,
slowly back away from that.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Alrighty. We do have some patch notes for the league this week as well. Hard mode Glacier and Enrage streaks now correctly benefit from league's drop chance multipliers.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. They fixed an issue where the specialist tier 7 relic wasn't working correctly with barbarism. And what this was behind the scenes was that the boost that specialist gave, it wasn't scaling off the plus 500.
Oh.
So
it was just
what this
scaling off of your
meant
normal, like,
is
290.
that if you were running max gear and you were, at tier 90 plus, you were getting more like a 30 to 40% buff in your special attack damage compared to the 50% you expected. So
Okay.
that was that. Dragon tools and Dragonstone armor can once again drop from Crystal Triskelion keys at tier 7.
That's good.
Okay.
Why at
That's
tier 7? What was the issue?
I have no idea what.
I'm assuming 5x drops or something, maybe. I don't know. They're super rares, so.
If you had the Clue Connoisseur relic, you'll no longer see confirmation when re-rolling Clue scrolls.
Thank you. I don't know when they hot fixed this in. I think I don't know when I was feeling it, but this is good. I like this. Thank you. Thank you so much for this.
Eastern Fremenic Bainite ore nodes now correctly track for the relevant tasks.
Oopsies.
You had to mine at specifically the western nodes to get the count.
Oh, really?
For that task up there.
I did not run into that issue. I'm ignorant.
Was on the region border.
Having the Lunar Spellbook active now allows you access to Lunar Isle because you get the Lunar Spellbook at tier 6.
Which also means
are you saying
that one 10-point task is now accessible without doing lunar diplomacy, correct?
I was going to say, I thought I had to do lunar diplomacy for like craft astral runes, but I don't have to do that anymore.
That's a good question.
One way to find out. I don't know that you'll be able to bank without the seal of passage, but
I can bring Renaissance with me.
What are we kidding? Avernick's a banker's note person.
No, I'm not. Oh my God. I might take the hipster relics, but not that one.
Slander his good name.
I'm
You
kidding.
cannot
I'm
put
kidding.
production master and banker's note in the same category.
That's a bold one.
If you have excavator, it now correctly teleports soft clay and porcelain soft clay.
Cool.
That's wonderful, but I mean, everyone took production master. They don't need the urns, right?
I'm sorry. You need urns?
Yeah.
Your 20% extra XP is required for you?
You're right.
I've been using urns with mining.
Why?
Why not?
That's wonderful.
Because I'm going to get so much gosh dang mining XP just between crafting. Well, not so much crafting anymore because gate exists, I suppose. But
I mean,
I'm like overflowing. Mining is like my third highest skill. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
This did make the porcelain soft clay task easier by having the excavator bank it all. So I could
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of
is
thinking there.
I made a set of porters to bank the 200 soft clay and Prifddinas. Like I made a set of like the tier 60 divination porters because those still work.
Banked it. The bank was like 10 steps away.
Never underestimate my laziness, I think, is the correct response here. Oopsies.
Completing the Leave No Zygamite Buried achievement will now complete the Find All Hidden Zygamites on Anachronia League task. And if you've already found all the Zygamites, simply speak to one again to complete the task and receive your Totem of Aura's top reward.
Nice.
Gizmos are also no longer affected by the saving effect of Perfection. We saw
Thank
what happened
God.
with that.
Oh my God, you couldn't get rid of them?
No.
You could destroy them from your bank if you dragged it out of your bank.
Oh, that's.
But it had a confirmation dialogue with everyone.
Oh,
I did discovery and equipment separators.
I did that too, but like there was like a brief dry period where I accidentally I made an inventory of gizmos to get past, and
you had to get like 20 to 50. Once you hit 50, you're set for the rest.
Yeah, I started discovery at 40. So
weird. Yeah, I did discovery 50 upwards, and I have a bunch of things I haven't discovered that I'm not going to bother with.
And the Steal the Wine of Zamorak task has been updated to include needing to telegraph the wine.
Yeah.
Didn't we know that?
No. I picked up so many of those darn things by hand and didn't get the task. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Am I not stealing it? Does this not count?
That wasn't stealing, that was taking.
How dare.
God Wars Dungeon 1 and 2, Hermod, and now Raziel correctly complete the respective first kill task. If you've already defeated these bosses, the task will auto-complete on next login, and the Gate of Validness is now affected by the drop rate multipliers. These are in hotfixes. And yeah, we know that gate logic works because I got spooned and I got the book on my first kill.
Give it back. Give it back. You didn't earn it.
The luck continues.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use the book for. Like, what skill I'm going to use it for. I thought maybe just sitting at Runespan with it, but...
How many pages do you have?
You get 3 hours by default, and then I got about 4 extra pages.
Okay. So, it's a good amount.
So, about 6 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a solid length of time.
But there's our patch notes for the week, everybody. Not too much to write home about there, but I do have to commend them for just being so responsive on fixing all the league's issues that crop up, even in, the hot fixes and cold fixes that we get along the way. Because these are big issues that were major speed bumps in the early on, and I think 3 weeks in, I think we finally reached a good steady state on everything. So,
yeah.
Okie dokie. We wondered what was happening after the microtransaction experiment, so we got a post today. The announcement of the announcement continues.
Yeah, classic.
Nailed it.
On
Good
October 27th, we will learn the findings and takeaways from the 3 microtransaction experiments. We were going to talk about the cosmetic direct purchase survey this week, but that thing was up for less than 3 days.
To me, that says they got very definitive data, probably that people liked it, if I'm any judge of community response. And they said, okay, we're good. They got what they needed. They got their confirmation and they got out. And they closed that up and said, all right, let's talk about it for 3 weeks and then tell everybody what we found.
And they say, out of respect for the effort, we have read every single comment left in our surveys and as many as they could find online.
That may also be why they closed it, because they said in there, which is crazy to me, that most people actually put information in the text boxes on the survey. So maybe they just like, all right, we cannot read more than like 10,000 of these things. We're going to go stir crazy, close it now.
And I mean, if you have a general feeling of the way the community wants to go, then that can inform your decisions there for that. They say, well, a significant reduction in MTX is a large part of this. We are thinking bigger. Our plans are also considering how we might address some of the core challenges in RuneScape, like UI, visual identity, onboarding, game health, and more. And I think Leagues has taught us a lot about the UI, and looking at what people who were coming from old school did. Visual identity, there has been that bifurcation that we've seen where if you look back at some of the 2014 2015 content, you scratch your head and you're like thinking, what was going on here? And then when it comes to onboarding, one thing we've been discussing in the Discord that you brought to us, Avernick, was Mod Stew's Lumbridge cleanup, which we haven't talked about yet on the show, but we will when it arrives. This is bringing Lumbridge back to basically pre-2013.
They are kind of realizing that people, nostalgia, but people actually do play this game for nostalgia. And and people come back to it for nostalgia, more, returning paper players, not new players. And so they're, I think very appropriately, sounds like leaning into that.
Yeah, the world map is indeed, if you put a photocopier next to the old school world map, it would look remarkably similar. One thing that I was really excited to see was that the farming patch was back in the rightful spot behind Lumbridge.
Behind the castle.
Yeah.
Well, like the castle, I wonder if the castle wall will still be partially destroyed.
No, it's because it looks like it's patched.
No, they're fixing it. Yeah.
Okay. So they've now effectively removed all mention or as much as they can of World Event 3, all of the map changes. They like stuff the gobies in a corner. They've removed, this will be the last thing to remove World Event 1. I mean, they'll still probably keep the Lumbridge guards with dogs or something.
And it is on the schedule to remove or to move Armadyle's Tower and the Bandos remains.
I was going to say Armadyle's Tower and Bandos remains. Okay, so they really are just saying, well, we probably shouldn't have done these live service events that leave lasting impacts on the world. They're just having regrets about faking player choice. Or not, as it may be. Yeah, I'm kind of sad to see a lot of that go. But the crater, look at all the times they've changed the crater. Not just for event, because I remember that used to be the event hub for, and that made so much sense to just have the event hub right next to Lumbridge.
Yeah.
I thought that made really good sense.
And it means the beach is gone next summer.
No more beach, yeah.
They could bring it back. Unlikely, but it does. Yeah, I wonder if they'll make a new beach hub like they've made for the Blooming Burrow.
They'll make their summer hub. They put it off doing last year. Yeah.
So and that would be fine if they honestly big wave pool looking beach crater in theory, crater in spirit. I'd be down. I think that actually sounds really cool. But yeah, the crater's going to be gone, and they've definitely flattened it over the years. But...
Yeah, and it looked really nice in its last incarnation, and I think one of the best things that they ever put there was the 20th anniversary commemoration that showed all the various game milestones and whatnot. That was a nice touch there.
Well, and I like the spring fair was also always I don't know how many times they've redone that environment. Maybe it's only been two or three where they've like slowly flattened the walls and made the green kind of creep back into the crater because that
Yeah.
crater was originally black and it was black in the ground for years until they brought the beach in to try to like I think the first beach event was like an air quotes like renewing the hole, right? Like it was like trying to fill back in the crater. They brought all the sand and they kind of like kept it there.
And there's so
But it
many other things that this league has exposed that I wonder if, fit under this game health umbrella. Like
mm,
I had a hot take earlier in the Discord this evening. I said, maybe flash events should be nerfed, and two people said, just remove them.
Yeah, I don't know if they need removing, but I do like the rewards even after the nerf of all of the like they got pretty heavily nerfed in the summer like game health update. Especially the salvage and some of the like numbers of things that they released, but uh there's like the XP they give is probably too much.
I
The
haven't touched Magic in League since level 40.
yeah, I mean.
Same thing,
The
honestly, for farming, fire making, and wood cutting.
Well, and a
Hmm.
reminder on leagues,
It,
that's
it it's
like
exaggerated.
anywhere from like 8 to 12 times as many wilderness events as it would take you to do those levels normally. So like I don't, that's something to be said there, but it is like they probably give too much XP. They probably give too much loot. The fact that
So
I like they also got me all of my ranging levels because
yeah,
I'm just throwing the Chinchampas they give. Like I haven't actually done any Chinchampa Hunter. I've got like 400 for them, and that's enough to get me where I need. So
here's the thing. This feels like somebody is saying delete everything that was objectionable or not core to the RuneScape identity over the last, 15 years. And I don't necessarily know that that's the right way to go. And it feels like reading into this
mm,
survey post that they want to do a little bit more of that.
I think,
Hmm.
and here's how I kind of take this is like remember, uh, I think a lot of people have been, or at least content creators that I've been around, have been asking for us to push back towards traditional skilling, right? We got too into microtransactions and there weren't enough supplies being pulled out of the economy towards traditional skilling. And, like when somebody comes from old school, they don't understand like how our games are balanced, frankly, because like, and especially, I mean, thinking about the summer game health update, I think is an excellent example where you look at like how much loot and how many supplies were coming into the game, and still kind of are in a lot of cases, from the bosses in like Elder God Wars and from these Wilderness Flash events that like the more recent content in particular has been kind of reward creeping pretty heavily. And that has massively impacted how you do skilling. And I think if they want to push back towards like the rune crafting update, right? Is the like, hey, go craft runes. Runes are going to be more XP per hour than the rune span, and they're going to be some kind of profit, right? Like you don't need the demonic skull anymore to get your massive profit from
Hmm.
magical thread. Like to some degree that they did make a massive gameplay change during leagues with that. That was probably the biggest one they could have done
Right.
is that like
That
runes
is true. That is
runes
true.
rune crafting, especially given everybody's trying to get 100 rune crafting, given I think a lot of people are just getting it from quest rewards because our quest rewards are also OP, which as they should be, quests good. But like,
Especially with the amount of time you got to put into that extinction tree.
I don't know
Yep.
that you really have to put a lot of time into that. Like as quest lines go, compared to like the other quests
Well,
that give that
and
amount
see,
of
the thing is, I
XP
say that
is like
in that
end game.
I read everything that I could pretty much when I did it on the GIM in City of Sintistan and Azandra's Quest.
Oh,
Right.
interesting.
So your space
If
bar is
you're
your best
flying
friend.
if you're flying through those quests, especially like you look at the number of quests you need to do from having zero quests done to completing extinction, and you
10.
compare
Yeah.
that, like the only other quest that is similar in terms of XP reward and number of quests required is While Gothic Sleeps, which is or not While Gothic Sleeps, I'm so sorry,
The
The
World
World
Wakes.
Wakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because The World Wakes is like such a pivotal like That's the
And
entire
you have
game.
no
And all the
requirements on that.
differences are the world wakes. Well, you have to
Right.
be able to kill things. You
Right.
have to have combat levels. And the lamps, the rewards you get
You have
require
to
you to have level 75 in
75,
those
yeah.
skills. So like there are requirements to get that XP. And you can only use one per skill. Like it's not a huge bucket. But something like Endgame gives more XP than that. The last Saren quests gives more XP than that.
The desert
There's
finale.
Eclipse is an insane amount,
Yeah.
but way too many quests.
But Eclipse, like you look at the number of quests you put in for a lot of those, and there's
60 of them, yeah.
yeah, anywhere from 30 to 60 for any of those quest lines. Versus, and sometimes more for like a Ritual of the Majorad, I think is another one that has a lot, but obviously that's a similar. Extinction is like, is it less than 20?
It's less than 20.
Well,
for
and
sure.
see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You and Pern both had that done really early on the game.
Well, so many of the quests give massive rewards from that are required in that quest line. I mean, in addition to Extinction itself giving massive rewards, like all of the quests up through the Elder God Wars series, like that whole series gives, even if it's not XP rewards, like access to the Pontifex Signet Ring, access to the like there's so much in there that is just a huge boon, like access to Dive from the Daughter of Chaos, the quests that were technically afterwards. But like that whole like season of quests, the Age of Chaos that came, like the Elder God Wars and the Age of Chaos, like
Yeah.
all of those quests give massive amounts of XP and really pivotal gameplay rewards. So
Yeah. They've upped the game. Thank God.
yeah, quests needed more rewards. Like that's again the thing is like the amount of time you spend on this quest line should give you like at least the XP you could have earned in that amount of time.
And this all
Like, it just
comes
should.
back to that, the game health and where the skilling and the questing fits into the various pegs of RuneScape. And I think that, this post about MTX, we said that this idea of removing Treasure Hunter wouldn't be enough, and I'm glad that they seem to have settled on that and got that from the survey as well, that just removing Treasure Hunter wouldn't be enough for a lot of people, and there are people who don't care about that. But I think the thing that people need to care about more is everything that's underneath, and I think League's also exposed a lot of that too, in terms of pieces of gameplay that might not necessarily be fun once you get away from the amount of XP that's preventing you from just doing it on day one, so to speak. The other thing I wanted to pull on for this is that we'll be sharing our plans, they say, publicly for final community validation. This will be a transparent, no holds bar level of player involvement where the decision to go ahead will be clearly validated or not by you. You'll see what we mean when we get here.
I mean, to me that says poll. And if they mean something different than poll, because it seems like they're trying to either avoid the word poll or they've got something else in mind. I'm very curious to see if it's something else. And if they do just mean poll, I mean, fine. Why don't you just say poll?
I'm gonna say because they didn't say poll and they kept saying validate. I think they truly mean validation. Like
how are you going to get the community to validate it?
the community doesn't. The community just. I feel like they have to implement something like the experiment and see how it goes. Like see how that implementation goes, and then they validate it through looking at the data as to like the interactions, and then
You see how angry Reddit gets.
Some of it's user feedback. Like this is what I would do at work if we're doing like a validation for a study or something. It's partial data. It's also partially qualitative
and
like
partially vibes.
It does. User feedback does matter when you're doing validation.
Yeah, of course it does. And I think it's also important to realize that there can also be some bad that I think comes from this, because then we're on to the next boogeyman and trying to figure out how do you fix this game in the eyes of many. Because the CEO has been out there on various, interviews and whatnot saying that, we're willing to take a loss on RuneScape 3 over the next little while in order to, make it right on these sorts of things. But I don't think anybody, has questioned what do you do instead. because how long are you going to take a loss for?
Right.
Monetarily.
Right. Yeah. In a lot of players' minds, the only acceptable answer is absolutely nothing, and I should be paying $5 a month, and content should be 3 times more employees making 10 times more
There
content.
should be weekly updates on the scale of while Gothic sleeps, and
Right,
scale
like,
add-ons, and
that's not realistic, right? There's a middle ground somewhere in here.
And I'll say what I've said since 2017 with Menaphos, 2018 with Menaphos. Everything that is successful or a failure with this game, aside from things like the login lockout, have come down to the management or mismanagement of expectations.
Yeah, big part.
And
Hero Pass.
And people getting excited for things that weren't what they are, and thinking they were getting something else when they were, in reality, like you said, Avern, getting the next chapter of monetization with Hero Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Or with Menaphos, people thought they were getting, another Prif-like content slate, but in reality, it was content that was aimed more at, the level 60 to level 80 range, which, Menaphos has turned out to be wonderful and very useful for a lot of people, but it wasn't what players expected back then. So you got to manage those expectations, because if you don't, you're in trouble. And I'll repeat what I've said as well, going back to the summer. If anything goes wrong with leagues, with these monetization experiments, or Havenhide, I don't know how they recover from that. They've been doing great with leagues so far, I'll say. And I have no doubt, based on what I've seen in the first 3 experiments, that the rest of the chapter of this monetization stuff won't go to plan. And then that just leaves Havenhide at the end in order to hit that to the park. Oh, did I say the wrong thing there?
You trust that the monetization won't go well? I mean,
vibes.
I trust that the rest of the monetization strategy that they're carrying out will go well. I guess I put an extra negative in there, but I didn't mean to.
Your lack of faith entertains me, sir. No, I think you're right. I think that I do have a lot of faith, given what they've been doing recently, and given, again, we can make all the jam flex jokes we like. Reasonably speaking, the company has done a very good job. They are so much better than so many other MMO developers at being communicative, at caring what their community thinks, at actually making updates that are enjoyable to play. Almost, so universally. So
yeah, it comes down to communicating. I've seen so many pie in the sky takes on what Havenhide is, and I think that my expectation
setting
is it's the first release probably looks a lot like Anachronia. not an agility course with.
I'm hoping for Varlamore.
Windy paths.
Varlamore Part 1.
I'm gonna set my expectations in RS3 land.
Yeah.
I could see maybe somewhere between Anachronia and Varlamore. But I don't think we hit fully Varlamore batch 1. I think that batch 1 was really the only one that really, really stuck out to me. But yeah, I think expectations are important there, because people think, a lot of people, I've seen things it's like the next Mistland plus
everybody wants to have their really cool idea in the game, and the reality is maybe not going to reflect that. But
it's going to be a giant area with 3 headliner activities, and
I actually don't think it's going to be a giant area. I think they did take a reward and say it's going to be specifically a filled out content area, and they're going to add new land as they release new content.
They will add new. Yes, sorry, maybe I'm.
So I don't think it's going to be empty Anachronia. I think
I think that it won't be full.
Didn't they say it was 100 grand exchanges in size?
I
think they said.
Oh my god!
I think they said by the end of it, though.
Okay, it was either launch or by the end. 100 grand exchanges.
Because that's 400 Lumbridge castles.
You get by the end, though.
I
think they also want it to be quite
Is the Grand
available for
Exchange
space
one
to
chunk?
put things. Yes, the
Is the
Grand
Grand
Exchange
Exchange?
is exactly one chunk.
Oh, okay, so it's 100 Lumbridge castles.
Yeah.
Even so.
But they want a land that they can put things like they did end up doing with Anachromy. So it's not going to be like 100% full because then you have your problem again. It's like where do I put things?
Right. I mean, I expect that there needs to be some amount of forest land that is
Yeah,
unused.
110 hunter. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Is that coming with the first batch?
Yep.
Okay.
They said the second batch is supposed to be like the swamps and the ruins.
Got it. Okay, and then the third batch is full on
The city with the
Vampirium and the
vampires. Yeah.
portal and the
Yeah.
okay. Darkmire 2.0.
Yes.
Look, I like my Vampire quests. They did that story beautifully. Don't do it dirty now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have overstated its welcome already, frankly.
But I mean, hey, at the end of it all, I mean, we're just on the path to Astromancy, right?
Just on the path
There.
to Astromancy.
And that's it. That's where we're going.
Shoot for the stars.
And if you miss, at least you land on the moon.
I love that quote. But anyways, yeah.
Yep, we did that quote correctly. Yep.
manage expectations. I have full confidence that the rest of the microtransaction experiment bits will be done correctly as the first three have been. There we go.
Nailed it.
That sounds
Nailed it.
the way it was supposed to sound. And then, Haven Hive and Wrap leaks, and then, we're kind of on a good foot there. So
Haven Hive isn't coming out during leagues,
no.
is it?
No.
Okay,
Haven
I'm like, speaking of content during leagues. Okay.
Yeah, it's like leagues ends 120 thieving Christmas Haven Hive.
Yeah, pretty
Roughly.
much.
Okay, start of next year. Jeez, okay, it's coming.
Coming. The crazy part is we're in October right now.
I mean,
Yeah, Halloween updates
I'm
next
my
week.
Halloween tree up.
Oh, Mr. Halloween. You know it's October.
It's time.
Well, that's why I sent you the scared opossum.
He's so cute. I love the way he jumps and like, yeah. Yep. What a little guy.
And
Anyways,
on that, what's your league's experience been like, Thaxi? We haven't heard from you yet on this. What relics did you take?
okay, so this is real life update for Taxi is coming before League's update because I feel like I need to give credit to I've been wanting to play League so much, and I have closed on and moved into a house since the start of Leagues. So my life has been, and I also started night shifts at my new job the week after League started. So I have been very busy. I have been just like going off the wall with non-leagues things. So my leagues experience has been behind from what my normal amount of grind would have been for this. As it currently stands, let me pull up the actual list. I've completed out of 1,100 total tasks, I have 467 done. So we're approaching halfway, given we're approaching halfway through the league. But I'm sitting at 16,000, close to 17,000 points. Relics wise, golly, I should have the list pulled up in front of me. Oh wait, I do. I'm logged into leagues right now. I can just go look. Excavator, farming, Assassin's Insight, Clue Connoisseur. I'm not breaking any molds here. I went with Necromancy and then obviously Perfection, and I will 100% be going Everlasting Faith. Your boy wants to chill. Put in zero effort, not have to manage prayer points, not have to manage health bar. So many things that just like ignoring all damage of a single type makes simple. Obviously not everything. Obviously I still need to do bossing when I go bossing, but that's fine. I'm qualified for that. No, I just want the nice, chill, relaxing bossing experience. I look at the book and the book seems not engaging enough to me, and obviously specialist is not the choice for a necromancer. The book,
You
the
had a
damage
grand
upgrade.
total of 2 to choose from. 3, sorry.
Yeah. So prayer it is for me, and I'm very excited to hit that milestone and just be able to not have to worry about prayer ever again, frankly. But yeah, I mean, I think following the very traditional leagues kind of path. My skills are almost all like mid 60s to mid 90s. I, have my 120 invention. I got my 99 prayer. I'm like, working on getting a bunch of skills towards 90s and upgrading gear. And then when I have my tier 90s all set up, I will sprint my way through all the combat related tasks for a bunch of points. And we're still hoping for Dragon Cup, but with Legends, Pokemon Legends coming out, plus I got Clear Obscure or Exertion 33 a couple of weeks ago, and I've been meaning to get a start on that. And then the new update for Guild Wars, their annual expansion is coming out at the end of the month. So we'll see how much Leagues I actually get to play, but I have very much enjoyed it so far.
And that's the thing is that you can totally get to tier 7 without going heavy on combat before then.
Yeah. I got to tier 6 without going too crazy on skilling before then too. Like there's just a lot of especially the low tier tasks. Like I have less than 20 easy tasks left. I have less than 100 medium tasks left. I have more than 200 hard out of 300, and I've only done 17 out of 297 elite tasks. Like, as it currently stands, I have a lot of very high task value points that
How many
are
clues
high
have you
point
done?
value tasks. What a great question. One of these tasks should tell me if I just search for clue, right?
There's 5,060 points thereabouts in total available in the league for clues.
I have done 56 clues of any tier. I have 100 medium clues in the bank because I've just kind of been ignoring them.
Where did
And
those
I think
come from?
a couple dozen hearts. All of the Abyss, actually, for me.
Okay.
All of those are from the Abyss. That's where I did. So I got 80. I knew that like I'm prepping to go get my tier 80 necromancy task done, and both tier 80 necromancy tasks obviously require God Wars 1, all bosses. Both of the tier 90 tasks require you to, well, unless you do silly things like Sola or Virago or whatever. But if you're doing Telos or the tank tasks, you need all of God Wars 2 bosses. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to get all of the God Wars requirements for both God Wars 1 and 2 done all in one swoop. So I went to the Abyss and I got myself 80 attack, strength, and ranging.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing that put me off Necromancy and made me restart, because I just finished that on the GIM a week and a half before League started. So,
I mean, reasonably, it took less than an hour each, and like 2 inventories of like fish, right? Because I obviously didn't have Soul Split at that point either. So like it was very easy to get those skills up to 80, and like I don't need to do rituals for souls or anything. It's just for
your inks,
obviously just for Hermod,
whatnot.
but
yeah,
just for inks and that, and I'm looking forward to having basically end game gear, right? Like that's the thing, is I didn't want to have to hunt down tier 90 gear for another style. I was just not willing to. As much as it might have actually been faster, I'm like, I'd rather just craft it and have a guaranteed path.
And I mean, I walked into that having not done anything but necromancy for the last, 2 and a bit years. Walked into the KQ and realized, oh, I need a second combat style here. Whoops, we'll come back later.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can, if you just want tier 90 one-handed weapons, you just smith them. That's fine. That's easy. But if I wanted, like, I would not want to do melee without a halberd range weapon, and all the halberd range weapons are like, I mean, I could go do Rax. Rax is probably the easiest answer for me personally. But no, Necromancy's easy. I just didn't want to deal with the upgrade tree. I just wanted to say, I'm going to get my upgrades, and then I'll go smoke through achievement tasks elsewhere with. Again, it really does bother me that this league, we're not doing that much more damage with any of the styles. Like melee might be the strongest, but like they're all, even with the book and with everything, you're doing maybe 50% more damage.
Like I think on my 4th day of Raging Echoes, and I'm not an old school combat person, I had my fire cape.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's not even anything like our combat relics were definitely weighted towards the end. So like that was somewhat intentional that we're not getting to come back quickly, but it's like old school because you're attacking it 2 or 3 times the normal rate. and also your weapons are doing additional damage in some variety, be that in the form of a bleed or additional base damage, or they're like, and they're feeding back on other things, and their accuracy really matters. And so when they get a 50% or 100% accuracy boost, that's actually just an equivalent damage boost. On leagues, old school leagues, you're doing like 2 to 4 times traditional damage. And in our leagues, you're maybe doing, I think, like 50% extra. Like, it's not crazy.
If that.
Like, it definitely makes it easy to get the speeded tasks if you were good enough to get them before. But like, it kind of is rubbing me the wrong way that so much of our points are tied up in combat, and that's just you don't get to use your league's relics.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really.
Okay, that's good to hear, because I was
leagues.
wondering if that was just a me feeling, but hearing you say that as well
No,
is
it's
encouraging.
I am underwhelmed with the bonuses we're given for this league. The XP bonuses are excellent. For the people who are grinding like Lemon for 200 mil all, that's awesome. For the people who are grinding for like for leagues points, obviously it's what it is, but like so for me, the joy of leagues, especially like the old school ones, was like I get to go in and have this crazy power fantasy because there's these buffs that make 0 sense in the main game. They make you just ridiculously powerful because they say there's no such thing as too much power. That to me is the league's mindset is there's no such thing as too much power. If somebody comes up to you and say, "Hey, I don't think that's balanced," correct. Good. That means you're doing it right. And the combat relics for leagues to me with the current way that the world is set up, seem balanced. There's some nice quality of life in there, but in terms of like, that's some broken bull nonsense. That's not happening in these leagues. And I wish it would. I
Yeah.
really wish that we had something that was like, that's just the most busted thing I've ever seen.
And to be fair, that's also another reason I went for melee on the second go was the
It has
lifesteal
more of that.
and that plus 500 early on
Yeah.
gets you going.
That like it is a big power buff. Like you're basically using weapons that are depending on how early you get it, 50 to 30 to 50 tiers above the weapon you're actually using. Like it's solid. But even that's less than I would like to see. Like I would love them because there's no way for them to get around the global tick system and make us attack faster. I mean, if there is, holy smokes, please let my GCDs be two game ticks instead of 3, and we're freaking cooking, lads. Like that's all they need.
That would
And
be
give
a
me,
very interesting buff for EOC leagues.
give me 50% reduced cooldowns and 2 takes on the global cooldown. And I am fully aware that I am asking the engine team to break the entire game. That is so unreasonable. I would never think that's a reasonable thing to ask. But like something that is like if they can't do that, just double the damage. Just say, hey, like here's 2,000 base attack damage, right? Scaling based off of level. Like I that's my biggest gripe with this league. Probably, honestly, at the base so far is that the power fantasy is not there for combat in a game where combat is so many of the points and so much of the like background.
The end game experience for RS3. I agree. Yeah.
There's a lot of skilling points. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of skilling points in getting 50 mil XP in every scale, or 110, 120s, whatever. And that's good, but yeah.
All right. How about you, Avernick? What has your process looked like since your archaeology world firsts?
Yeah, so I recently got to tier 7. I went
Are you an
as well.
everlasting father?
Yep.
Father?
Yep.
I mean,
Let's go, everlasting father.
I am the everlasting father. So I've only recently started doing any combat. So I think in that I've been different. I've mostly done skilling. I've already before I hit tier 7 had 99 plus mining, smithing, construction, woodcutting, fletching. I think those are archaeology. So I was already well and beyond. I don't know. At a certain point, I was like, but a couple more levels and I can do all of the magic log tasks and all the other log tasks and all the
yes.
There's a lot of those. Like
there's a lot of skilling tasks locked behind level 90. Oftentimes, getting level 90 or getting level 99 unlocks like more than just the 200 points for
getting
you.
to Elder Logs was like Elder Logs was
so
like
many.
5 elite tasks.
Well, same with Eternals. Eternals are the same, and it's just 10 levels further.
And I'll get to this in mind, but I found by going to 99 mining, smithing, and fletching, I was able to, with that, thereabouts will be able to unlock around 4,700 points.
Yeah. which is
Yeah.
almost more points than you get from all clues.
And for this reason, I have not regretted taking Production Master.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the other thing I think we need to talk about is that I think the clue relic does get you to tier 5 faster.
It does.
But-
Immediately, yes.
But Production Master, I think, is the smarter play going out
All right,
because as I was fletching, I was wanting it.
Hear me out. Because I'm currently care styling while we have this conversation. And that's, I've gotten from 82 to
No, that one's
89
really good.
in the last like half an hour. It's solid at 12x. However,
But-
me, gameplay wise, like this is the thing I think we need to be very careful at saying, you should do this, we should do this, is that like,
Right.
I hate clues.
Me too.
I am so happy to do clues in a way that doesn't require me
That too.
to do clues. And I want lean back gameplay. It is the reason I want Everlasting Faith over the book. I want gameplay that lets me kind of relax and chill. And with love to Production Master, all of the Production Master skills, we do not let you do that. It is the how fast can I interface manage? That is how fast I can get XP. My XP is not limited by the game's game tick system. It is limited by my interface management. And that, to me, sounds awful. I am not going to in any way attempt to invalidate your experience of enjoying this relic. I know for me, I would be sad. And so, like,
Yep.
you know?
I would say that hasn't been my experience. I don't feel like I've been clicking an insane amount to get like the amazing experience. I will say like, and I'm gonna
Do it.
break your mind right now.
Do it.
Care styling, the better experience is if you go fletch those tempered fungal shafts into fungal bowstring.
Mhm.
Each inventory is like 40 to 60k XP, and with Production Master, 60k,
With Production
60k,
Master,
60k.
Yeah.
So
No, I
that
believe
was
that.
pretty good.
Very satisfying.
Because it's so high, I feel like I haven't had to do it a lot. Like if I'm clicking through inventories, it's like 10 inventories
True.
and I'm done.
You don't use the relic for an incredibly long because you get 50 mil in an hour and a half, and you're like, all right, well,
Right.
that's that relic
Yep.
done its job. It did what I asked it to.
Right. And I agree with you on the clue thing. And so my solution is I have done 0 clue tasks in the entire league. And that means it took me longer to get to like 0 to 5.
Go. I respect that.
So, but yeah, I think that Production Masters treated me well. Everlasting Faith started using it. I was surprised, even at a place like an Elite Dungeon where there's like a lot of enemies, like you're
Mhm.
largely grouped up with everyone's doing melee damage or everyone's doing magic damage. So like,
Oh yeah.
undergeared, no food, totally can do ED2, no problem.
Well, there's places like I mean, I was doing with the Rex Matriarchs today, right? And every once in a while, like each of them has like they'll do one attack of an off style. But with Everlasting Faith, that's
So you
what
get the soul splitting. Yeah.
that's what the soul splitting is for. So like,
Yeah, it's so nothing. Like
You guys might even be
even-
convincing me on Everlasting Faith.
look, we're the echo chamber here. Hear us roar.
Yes.
But like,
It's
Yeah.
the one tier 7 relic that does change what you can do and how you can do things. Whereas the other ones,
I think Specialist does have a lot going for it. There's a lot, but yeah.
Only
DPS go
with
up.
melee and ranged.
I would still argue Magic. I would still argue that the Armadyl Battle Staff is being slept on in terms of the amount of value you get out of it, combined with like if you were able to get yourself the Channeler's Ring.
Like the
and-
regular Armadil staff, not the Fasoa, right?
Correct. The Armadyl Battle Staff, not to be confused with the Fractured Staff of Armadyl, the Siphon. No, the Armadyl Battle Staff that dropped from Glaciers after Ritual of the Majorat. Because getting that on a league would suck. But because it is a channeled attack that hits 4 times, you get massive crit buffs from it, which play probably very nicely with the league's crit damage multiplier. I think that's for Specialist Magic is being really slept on for that.
That is probably one of the ways you could go Magic in this league.
I think that's
go Specialist.
Yeah. You go Specialist with, and you get yourself a Chandler's Ring. You spend your time killing Dagonoth. Killing the Dagonoth as a person using the Necromancy relic, oof, my brothers. It was not good.
I believe
It's
you.
better now. I haven't been back since I got my like 80 combat stats, but it
I
was
haven't
like,
done it, but if I do, I'm going to take Sunspear. Done.
See, that's the thing though. I don't think I need it. I got one of my lovely clue relic. Let's go clue relic. I got an elemental impetus. So I
Okay.
made
Yep.
myself a staff of limitless air. I've got
Yep.
an enhanced crystal seed from getting 90 smithing because that is free from Lady Ethel. So I got my halberd, and then my sun spear gets to stay on range.
Fair.
It's a good life.
Oh, and the thing that the Zerdones definitely tipped me off to last time that I have lived by is that I purely wear Smith melee armor. With who cares what armor I'm wearing? I'm wearing Elder Rune to do necromancy in.
Yeah.
Because 100% accuracy. So I've
But
really not done a
damage,
lot of.
but damage bonus.
I haven't done the power tasks yet. I'm still working on the tier 90 tank tasks just to get the weapons.
Oh, sure.
And then once I have the weapons, I'll probably go back.
Yeah, that's totally fair. My thing is like, okay, also just for Clue Relic, didn't realize this. The Clue outfit is
It's a tier 75.
It is tier
It's
75.
tier 75.
Hybrid armor.
Yeah.
So
skips up,
that's my armor. That's the armor I've been using for stuff like
Dag
previously
Kings.
mentioned Dag Kings, yeah.
I mean,
Once again, not a reason to choose it over Production Master, but a nice perk.
No, yeah.
yeah, I'm working towards Adamant now, and
Nice.
see how I go from there. I have a lot of combat to do. I do feel like I have to go back and do a lot of low level tasks. I think I did skip up to Elite pretty quickly by doing those like 80, 90 skill.
Your
tasks.
Production Master slingshotted you into
Yeah,
doing
so
high
now I
tier
have to go
tasks, which
back
is
and do
dope.
Duck Quest.
I'm not doing it. It's going to be like the put pineapple on pizza task. I'm going to just be a conscientious objector to the task, and it's not getting done, bitches. I will not. I actually don't mind pineapple on my own pizzas in real life, but nope. I'm standing on my principles here. Correction, I don't mind pineapple adjacent to my pizza. I don't know what I like it on. Anyways, that's a tangent that's too far.
Okay. Yeah, wow, Production Master and Everlasting Faith. Interesting.
Clues.
Mm-hmm.
Shane's buyer's remorse for his relics.
No,
every time you do a league, every single
I
time
want
you
to
do
say,
a league.
I want to say I'm 100% happy with this second playthrough here. I really am.
Okay.
Because
Okay, good.
I got the melee right. I got the clues for what I wanted to get me close to tier 6, and that's what I was expecting from it based on the points that were there. There's no buyer's remorse up until the only buyer's remorse was that melee thing. And I would even go as far as to say that this league has taught me how to play leagues and what better to do next time there's an old school league.
Or there's a Gridmaster.
No, I'm not doing Gridmaster.
Yeah. No, that's
no.
I need League's relics to make it fun. Sorry. Good luck, old school. Have fun. Enjoy that.
But as for me, as we sit here, I'm about 4,300 points away from tier 7, and I have put together a task list that would have got me about 4,700 points from just, like I said, getting mining, smithing, and fletching all to level 100. And that will leave me with about 1,400 to 1,200 points to go to tier 7 when I finish that. And I imagine I'll pick up a few tasks along the way for that. So I should be fairly close to tier 7 by the time that I'm done that. I have since got 99 mining. I have to go back and get 100 mining, finish up 100 fletching, and then do the smithing to 99. That's presently like 92 or something, but that won't take long because, I'll just go mine some Elder Rune and make some Elder Rune gauntlets for that, and it will be good to go on that. But it is just amazing how many points are in skilling in this league, and looking at the higher level ones, yeah, absolutely, you can see that. You just tally them up, and they're right there to the point
200
that,
and 400 adds up way faster than 30 and 30.
Yeah,
even 30 and 80.
And when you get to those levels, it's like, oh wow, these points are actually rolling in, kind of quick for this, and that's where that Production Master discussion lands for it, and that's why I was kind of consistently referencing that. And before the show, I just did all the little chaff fletching tasks, like fletch 50 maple shield bows, use short bows, use stocks, the rune crossbow. I did the quest for rune darts.
Oh, I gotta go back to do that.
I need to. Well, it's good XP too. I think that quest gives like pretty solid.
Yeah, it got me to
XP.
like 65 thieving.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Well, obviously not relevant XP if you're 99 in skills, but for some things,
yeah,
it'll be a nice little chunk of some kind of XP.
Make sure you're doing those combat tasks to equip those different types of bows and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I need to go through that list, and actually, that's a good point. Check
equip
the
a full set of
ones.
dragon hide of each tier.
Yeah, I have done the dragon hide ones, but all those things do add up. So that's been my main it's been my main push over the last couple of days, and I felt, is this the right way? Because it feels a bit slow in the beginning, but then the points just start rolling in once you reach the 99s there for that, and
you have to invest a bit into it.
Yeah, and all the other 99s have come to over the last week, like 99 prayer with the infinite money, 99 agility with the golden hawk boots, so things like that.
Wait, the golden hawk boots? Did you take?
Yeah, I took the golden hawk boots.
Shane likes farming. Why would he pick the relic that doesn't let you farm?
I mean, I took golden foot. I hate farming. I already have 88 farming. Thank you, Wilderness Splash.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. You're right, but damn.
And
maybe those are overbalanced.
And I mean,
Probably.
there's a argument to be made that one of the hidden benefits of the farming relic is farming herbs during Cruise Hour, because you get the Guthixian butterflies.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's edge cases like that, and then we have, like I said, 4,300 points left to make the decision between specialist or book, and those are the ones that I'm thinking.
But
right
hear
now.
us out, though.
I know.
But have you heard about Everlasting Father?
our Lord and Father, Everlasting Faith.
I think that's a little bit too lean back for me, and not what I was looking for with the league.
It's fair.
Totally reasonable. I mean, book is damage unless you want to lean in. But specialist really solid. The thing that I've noticed is the adrenaline. Oh my God, the extra adrenaline. That's probably where the extra damage should be coming from, is all the extra adrenaline we're getting. That's where if we're gaining damage from anything, it's the double adrenaline.
Yeah.
But
and if I did go specialist, that would be, obviously I think Dragon Claws would be the case there for melee. I don't know.
Look at
the Zuck sword, but
look at the Ceradomin sword, genuinely.
Yeah, because
that thing hits like a truck and gives magic XP.
Magic XP, right? Because it's a magic attack.
It gives magic XP, but it'll hit cap. It should hit cap in his
right. 270 average damage and magic ability damage for a total of 540 average magic.
Which means
total.
It hits harder than a dark bow. That's hefty. If you've got the adrenaline for it, which you should.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm still leaning towards book, but
fair. Book is hard to say no to. Those times when it works.
Okie dokie. So I have the benefit of bringing. Actually, no, we're not doing pick of the week right now. I was jumping ahead on that. I wanted to talk about that, but we'll do the achievements first. Zardone's got pets this week. He got Baba Yaga's house on the 7th and Woody the woodcutting pet on the 6th.
Woo! Congrats.
Squiggly Lemon got 120 all on the 5th. She's just going for it. And Zardone's reached adamant mark on the 3rd.
Doing really well for his.
Then for our general main game high scores achievements, we have Chimney Lax with 99 smithing on the 8th, Iron VSS with 99 fishing on the 6th, Fight Caves with 200 million defense XP on the 4th, Godin with 200 million necromancy XP on the 4th, and Chimney Lax with 99 attack on the 3rd. And Snail Mage posted that he undertook the grind and got the botanist and partial factory outfit. My condolences to you.
Strong work. Keep it up.
All right, so this is a pick of the week, primarily for Mac OS users. So I know there's probably only a very small number of you listening on the show at this time. But the pick of the week is called iStat Menus. Some of you might recall that a number of years ago I had another menu bar app as pick of the week. But the reason we didn't do iStat Menus at that time was that they were a subscription-based software service, and they're effectively nowadays what you would effectively have called shareware back in the 1990s, where you get most of it for free, and then if you want more, like live weather and whatnot, you can pay a little bit extra to rope that in. But what this is it's basically a menu bar monitoring suite that pops up anything you want in terms of CPU usage, graphics card usage, memory usage, hard drive usage, network usage, sensors from your computer, battery, date and time in different time zones, the weather if you pay extra for it. Basically the kitchen sink, and you can configure it to look however you want it to look. So if you're ever, and this is something I always like to keep an eye on, is just memory usage across various processes. Is the RuneScape process playing up, or maybe there's something, that's just running for a little while longer that I was tinkering with that didn't clean itself up correctly. Software like this can help, and it's called iStat Menus. It's linked in the show notes. I don't know if there's a good Windows alternative, but these guys have been doing this software since 2007, when they started with a humble widget for macOS dashboard. So that's the pick of the week.
Woohoo!
Cool.
And it looks very neat too. So I mean, if you're looking at something, just go and look at the website just to see the design work that they did. And I think they won Apple Design Awards a number of years in the past. But all right. Well, you guys were saying you wanted to set a show record. We did just over 2 hours for the Star Sprite quest and your tinfoil hat theories.
Let's go. We dawdled.
Anything else before we go?
Make sure you've claimed your Pontifex Signet rings from the Sage, because the 3% extra XP from the ring with divination stacks with League's multipliers.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, that's a great
Thanks all. Have a good night.
And it's also tier 3 luck.
Shoot.
It is also a tier 3 luck ring. Yes. It has no stats, so it's kind of spicy. But it makes your
Skilling.
It has a lot of buffs for mining and divination and things that are nice. It makes your time sprite move less. So
well, that's good.
That's not useful.
What do you mean? I took Animal
I
Wrangler.
thought you were right. Time sprite, not Saren's spirit.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Time sprite.
Well, we'll be back. We'll be back next week for Halloween. If you want to hear that episode as it arrives, subscribe on your favorite podcast listening service. We're on all the big ones out there: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and more, as well as YouTube at youtube.com/RSBANDB. Do give us a like and subscribe there. Greatly helps the channel out. But that's it for this episode of RSBANDB Update. Thanks, Avernick, for being here for Quest Week.
Of course, there was a quest. Yeah.
And all the tinfoil hats theories from you, Taxi, as well. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
And with that being said, we'll see you next week for another episode of RSBANDB Update. See you then, everyone. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.